Every single day, millions of iPhone users do this. They swipe away every app every time because someone told them that it saves battery. And that person was wrong. There are 5 iPhone settings that genuinely extend your battery life. I'm going to show you all 5 with exactly where to find them, and then I'm going to tell you 3 things most people do to save battery that are either useless or actually making things worse. I'm Slim Hoodie, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into it. Now, let's start with the one that matters the most. So as you can see here, my battery's maximum capacity is at 100%. Before anything else, go check this number right now. And the way you get to it is by first going to settings. So I'm backing out in settings, go to battery. And once in battery, I'll just go to battery health. And here you'll see your battery capacity. And that percentage is everything. Now with the maximum capacity, this tells you how much energy your battery can still hold compared to when it was brand new. 100% is new. And I've had this phone for about 6 going to 7 months and it's still at 100% capacity. 80% means your battery holds 80% of its original capacity. Below 80%, that's when Apple considers the battery worn. So below 79%, you will feel it in your day-to-day use, and that's when it's suggested you might want to check it out, have it checked out, or swap it out. So if your number is below 80%, none of the 5 tips in this video will fully fix your battery life. The problem is the hardware, not the settings. So a battery replacement at Apple costs $89 to $119 depending on your model, and it makes a 3-year-old iPhone feel like new. So check that number first, everything else second. If you're above 80%, let's get into it. Setting number 1, and this is the most important one for keeping your battery healthy long term, and this is mostly for iPhone 15 and later only. Now when you're in settings, go to battery and go to charging. So scroll down and then you'll see charging here. Now out the box, the charge limit is set to 100%. I have mine at 90%. And here's what this does. Lithium ion batteries, which is what iPhone uses, experience the most chemical stress when they sit at 100% charge for a long time. And every night you charge to 100%, and if you just leave it on your charger until the morning, you're aging the battery faster than you need to. So the charge limit setting stops charging at 80% and keeps it there. You lose 20% of your total charge, but your battery health degrades significantly slower over time. 85% or 90% is a reasonable middle ground. Now, like I mentioned before, this is for iPhone 15 or later. So if you're on iPhone 14 or older, they don't have a charge limit, but you do have optimized battery charging, which is the next best option. And I'll mention that in the midsection. Setting 2, and this one nobody talks about, but it's silently draining your battery all day. So if you go to setting, display and brightness, and you scroll down, you'll see race to wake. I have mine off, but sometimes some people may have it on. Again, if you have it, all it does is when you pick it up, it'll light up. This one is not really necessary, and the thing it does drain your battery. So toggle that off if you want as much battery as possible. Every time you pick up your phone, move it, walk with it in your hand, the screen wakes up. The display turns on, Face ID activates a look for your face. So your phone does a small burst of work every time, and it adds up over time more than you'd expect. So turning this off means the screen only wakes when you actually tap it or press the side button. So your phone still works exactly the same, you're just stopping it from working unnecessarily. Now if your phone is usually sitting around on a desk, this setting has less impact, but if you carry it in your hand a lot and you move around a lot, turn this off. Now look at this list right here. And every app that has always on, so I have this on for weather, is tracking your location right now in the background, even when you're not using it. And your battery is paying for every single one of them. Most of my apps, I have it just sitting out while using, but if you have it on always, that means it's always using your battery to keep tracking you. So for setting number 3, in settings, come down to privacy, scroll down to privacy and security, and from here you'll see location services. Once you get into here, you're looking for any app set to always that doesn't genuinely need to know where you are at all times. Again, I have mine on for weather, but that's because I like to know what the weather will be when I'm traveling. So anywhere I am, it will update automatically in the background with the location. But for most apps, you don't need always on for it. So social media apps, Instagram, TikTok, X, they don't need always. Set them to while using or never. Shopping apps, news apps, games, never. They don't need your location at all. Same thing for a couple of other apps. The one that for me, again, like I mentioned, that I have always on for is the weathers app, and then I don't think I have anything else set to always. But again, it depends on your use case. You might have some apps where you want them to track your location at all times, but most of them you can turn this off. This one change, going through the list and setting every non-essential app from always to while using or never, can noticeably extend your battery on a heavy usage day, and it protects your privacy at the same time. Do this once, takes 5 minutes, and then you're done. Setting number 4 is background app refresh. Now to get into that one, you'll want to go to general and then scroll down to background app refresh. Now you'll have a list of apps. Some of them I have on, some of them I have toggled off. Now this controls which apps are allowed to update their content while you're not using them. Every app with this on is doing work in the background right now, pulling new data, syncing content, and refreshing feeds. Now here's the important thing, don't turn this off for every app. Some apps do need it. For example, my maps need it when I need to be routed, podcasts for downloading, health apps for tracking, weather app as well. So don't turn it off globally, just turn it on and toggle it on for apps that do need it. So what you need to do is scroll through each app and see which ones you need to have it on for and to toggle those on. And target the ones you never need updating in the background. This will only take about 3 minutes and it will help your battery life. So do this as soon as possible. Setting number 5 is a 2-for-1. It's dark mode setting first. So to get to dark mode, all you'll have to do is go to display and brightness, and here you'll have dark mode. Mine's is dark mode. Not only does it look better, but it also helps with your battery. So with the OLED screens, they work differently from older LCD screens. On an OLED, individual pixels produce their own light. So a black pixel is a pixel that's completely off using 0 power. Dark mode turns most of your interface black. And black pixels on an OLED uses no battery. Every dark background, every black keyboard, every dark menu, those pixels are off. The battery savings are real. So make sure that one is on dark mode. Again, that's up to preference, but it does save your battery. I also like it again because of how it looks. The next one, which is still with the display, is in auto brightness. Now this one is hidden, it's not in the display brightness. You have to back to the general settings area and scroll down to accessibility, or scroll up in accessibility, go to display and text size right here. And here, go all the way down to scroll all the way to the bottom and make sure auto brightness is toggled on. So now with the screen, it does drain battery. And with auto brightness, it uses the ambient light sensor to keep your screen at the right brightness for your environment, not brighter than it needs to be. So in a dim room, it dims down and your battery benefits every single time. So toggle this one on. Alright, so that's 5 settings, all real, all worth doing. Now let's talk about the 3 things you've probably been doing that don't work or are actively making things work. Now myth number 1 is closing all your apps thinking it saves battery. It doesn't, and here's why. iOS freezes background apps when you leave an app and go do something else. So iOS already suspends it. It stops using your battery, it's just sitting in memory doing nothing. So when you force close it and then reopen it later, your iPhone has to reload that app entirely from storage back into memory. That process uses more battery than just leaving it suspended. So closing apps to save battery is like turning your car off at every light to save fuel. The restart costs more than the idle when you're just sitting there and waiting for the light to turn green. The one exception is if an app is genuinely acting up, crashing, and is frozen. That's the only time really I'll close the app. But as a daily habit for all your apps, don't do that. You're working the battery much harder. Myth number 2 is you should never charge your iPhone overnight because it damages the battery. Now again, this was true way back in the day, but not so much anymore. iPhone has optimized battery charging built in, and we looked at it earlier. When you go down to charging, you have optimized battery charging here with the charging limits that are set. even with the prior phones with optimized charging. Here's what it does. Again, your iPhone learns what time you wake up. It charges to 80% early in the night and then pauses. Only finishes the last 20% right before your alarm. So that means your phone spends as little time as possible sitting at 100%. So overnight charging with optimized battery turned on means your phone spends a little time at 100%. So that means overnight charging with optimized battery charging on is completely fine. Myth number 3 is turn off Wi-Fi when you're not using it. And I used to hear that one a lot to save battery, but this is actually backwards. Wi-Fi uses less battery than cellular data, so when you turn Wi-Fi off, your iPhone switches everything to cellular, which works harder and drains faster. So if you're home, at work, or at a coffee shop, stay on Wi-Fi. Your battery lasts longer and your data plan thanks you too. The one time it actually makes sense to turn Wi-Fi off is if you're somewhere with no Wi-Fi networks available and your phone is constantly searching for one. That searching uses battery. In that specific situation, turn it off. Otherwise, leave it on. So these are the 5 settings that actually work, and 3 things to stop doing, like closing all your apps, stop worrying about overnight charging if you have optimized charging on, and stop turning off Wi-Fi. And if you all have tips and tricks when it comes to battery saving for the iPhone, feel free to drop it down in the comments below. Alright, I'm Slim Hoodie. Peace.